Alright, welcome everybody to quadratic equation. Now, previous lecture we already covered of quadratic equation b square minus 4ac and what role that plays in the quadratic equation. Right now we're going to be doing how to solve questions using b square minus 4ac. Now for tangent, meaning that it only has one root here, one solution, or no distinct solutions, but these solutions are the exact same. You get b square minus 4ac, right, equals to 0. Here you won't get more than one answer. Any variable that you need to find, you will only get one definitive answer. The real trouble starts over here when you put an inequality sign. So the inequality sign basically means that we will have more than one solution, and we will have a range of solutions as our final answer. So whenever you have b squared minus 4ac, I want you to quickly draw a graph like this with a line passing through it and 2 points. The first solution, which must be smaller than x2, and x2 which must be larger than x1, right? Say this is -1 and that is 2, right? And I want you to draw these long lines over here on each side. They should not be inside the curve. They should not be inside the curve. They should be outside the curve. Afterwards, I need you, this will all make sense later when we actually solve a question using this. And then afterwards, I need you to do must be smaller than x1, because these lines are going outwards back over here. And x must be larger than x2, because these lines are going out over here. Again, this all makes sense. Just trust the process and memorize this graph over here. However, if you have something smaller than 0, I want you to draw this graph again. I want you to do x1 and x2. However, this time I don't want you to draw lines outside of the graph. I want you to draw them in the graph, in the region which is below this line and is between x1 and x2. Shade that region. I don't want you to fully shade it like what I'm about to do here. Don't do this. Don't be like this, right? It'll just make your thing look very unneat. What I've already done, I'll just show you guys right now. What I've already done over here is I just drew a couple of squiggly lines, and the examiner understands. He's not that picky about drawings. He knows we don't have a time constraint. We're quite stressed, so he doesn't really care that much. There's some leniency involved. Just illustrate that you are shading this area, x1, x2. Just do this. Just illustrate that this area has been shaded. And I want you to do x1, which must be smaller than x2, is smaller than x, while x is smaller than x2. Basically, x is in between these two values, but is not equal to these two values. It's in between, which is shown by the graph up here in the shaded region.